Hello all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Ravina Bhaskaran, an author, illustrator and publisher. Today it's again a Jingle All the Way Christmas coloring book. I have chosen one single page here to color today. I'll show you that. This is the page we are going to color. This has a lot of Christmas pastries. I'm so interested to color this, especially I'm craving for something sweet today, so I eventually want to color this spread, not spread, this page. For coloring this, I have planned to use some oil pastel. This is Bristol oil pastel tones. It has beautiful pastel tones here. For background, I'll be using this. I'm gonna color everything. Also the background I'm gonna color. And for the color pencil, I have taken Faber-Castell Polychromos 120 set, and this is again brushstroke pastel tone color pencil. This has again a beautiful shades of pastel tones, so I'll be using this. I don't know what else I'm gonna use. This is a single page only. I think this is more than enough to color this page. For background, to complete it very quickly, I'm gonna use the oil pastel set that I've shown you. If you haven't watched any separate review video of the product, you can go check that out. I'll include some link in the I button that is popping in the screen throughout this video. You can check that out, or else I will include the end card so that you can click that and check out my channel and see those videos. This is my fourth coloring from this book, I guess. Yeah, this is the fourth coloring. I already have uploaded 3 of the videos where I have colored all these pages. You can watch those videos in my channel. Click on my channel and see the recent videos that I've uploaded. Okay, let's get into our coloring part. First, I'll work on the main element. Usually I'll start with the background. Today I'm gonna start from the pastry set. Later I'll add the oil pastel background, so that it won't get messy, because oil pastel will be a little bit sticky, so I don't want these interior elements to get messy, because each and every sweets and pastries here are very intricate, so we cannot erase it that properly. So I'm going to complete the pastries first, then later we can work on the background. You can also color along with me if you have the book. I see a lot of people are purchasing this book right now. I'm so happy and thankful for you. I'm so thankful. If you color any of my pages, do let me know and share me. I'll be more than happy to see your version of coloring. Okay, let's begin. For color palette, since we are going with the brushstroke pastel toned pencil as well as the oil pastel, I want everything in pastel here with some bright colors. Maybe, I hope you can see now. Maybe this whimsical Christmas have some pastel tone. We can use this, I guess. Along with this, I'm gonna include some pastel greens and everything in pastel color. So this will come under this whimsical Christmas color palette category. Let's begin. Before coloring, always make sure to add one extra cardstock or paper behind your page, so that it will protect, it will add extra protection to your coloring page. Let's start our coloring. I am using light magenta color for this background pastry set stand. This is gonna be in a pastel magenta tone. Our first time layering out the color, then marking out the shadows using the same pencil. I mean the same shade of color. I'm darkening out the edges and shadows. I'm not gonna use a complete muted pastel tone here throughout this illustration. I'll be using some pop of color, I mean some darker hues, and I'll lighten it using my colorless blender or white pencil. So that's the aim of this page. As you can see, I'm using more colorless blender. Usually I'll slightly add, I mean light layering of my bright color, and I'll use my white pencil or colorless blender to make it look like a pastel color, because in Faber-Castell Polychromos you cannot find that much pastel tones there, so that we want to make use of it and create the pastel color by that. Now I have taken the darker magenta color and creating streaks like you'll find in your wood. I'm randomly scribbling that lines using dark magenta color, and that gives that wood kind of effect. To the very edge of each and every element, I'm using indigo color to give some depth and shadow. This gives that dimensional effect. You must actually try this. I have taken a blue, I mean the darkest blue, and I am using it for the shadow. Meanwhile, for the interior part of the each and every segment, I am using some pink, especially in the top left corner. I am giving more shadow. I want that light to be in the bottom right corner and the shadow in the top left corner. This is completely imaginary one because I am keeping the light source in the table in the right side, so I want the shadow in the top left corner. Moving on to our interior things that we have placed in that cupboard. For glass bottle, here's the trick. I'll hide all the black lines of the bottle so it will give that glass finish. Also, in the empty area where the liquid is not filled, I'm gonna use the same light magenta and darken one side of the edge so that it will actually look like a glass bottle is placed there. This is the trick to color the glass bottle. I'll hide the black lines using my Uniball Signo pen, or any kind of white pen will do that. This is the trick to color the glass bottle. As you can see, for the cork I'm not covering the black lines. I left out like that so that it will give that raw unfinished edge, like cork, hardy cork kind of effect. Moving on to the other pastries, I don't know each and every pastry's name. You can play with your imagination. Whatever you like, you can use. For the black lines here, you can cover uh, randomly, I'd say, because I have done that. I have not covered the entire black line here. Here and there, I'm just dabbing with my white pen wherever the light hits. I'm just imagining that and I'm covering it with the white pen. I'm not gonna cover the entire uh, black outlines. For the glass bottles, I'll definitely cover the area because I want to give that glassy effect, right? Other than that, I'll use the white pen only for the highlights. Now I am doing the cookie. As you can see, here and there I have dabbed some white pen. I am using all the pastel tones like purple, pastel yellow, pastel peach, everything. So I don't want to give explanation for each and everything. I'll come back whenever some explanation is needed. So until then, you can watch and how I color all these pastries and other eatables. Always look for the contrast. I couldn't resist using my bright red pencil here because I need some Christmassy effect. I couldn't resist using the red for the cherries and for some embellishment work. Other than that, I'm using the pastel tone hues only. Talking about the contrast, right? Before we have colored our glass bottles, their green color liquid is filled. So, in contrast to that, check your coloring wheel and see what is the contrasting color for the green. And I've used the direct contrasting color red, and for another glass bottle, for the blue one, I have chosen one side yellow and the other side as that. What will you say? That brown, peachy brown. It also has yellow there, so always check for that contrast so that the overlapping elements will look so vivid and clear to your eyes. This is the light source of our illustration. Here I am using yellow color around the light. It gives that light beam effect. I'm covering out the black line there so that it won't be disturbing for our light. This is the light source so that all the left side will be very lighter where it catches the light, and the top left would be in darker tone so that it gives that shadow effect. For the rug that is lying below, I have covered the black lines because I want this to be a white rug. So I'm using cold grays here to give some depth. I'm using cold gray from 1 to 6. I've picked each and every color and I'm giving a fine hair like texture so that it looks like a very bushy hair. Below that rug, I have used the dark grey color to give that shadow. I am overlapping the hairs, I mean the darker, using the darker grey color, and I am doing some hair like textures on top of the elements that is lying below, I mean on top of the mat as well. By doing this, uh, it will give that realistic rug, mushy rug like effect. This is the original speed I was working. I'll sharp my pencil and I'll flick a line very gently so that it gives that perfect rug effect. Darken out the shadow below your rug and use the darker color of the gray very minimum. Now to give that realistic effect, I am flicking some white gel pen hairs on these basket elements. That's all, the main element is done. Now let's move on to our background. I'm using one dark minty blue and light blue, I mean middle blue, and giving some random color here and there and blending everything using my paper blending stump. This is much easier. One thing is hand blending and another thing is this paper stump blending. I'm leaving out that yellow space where the light beam is hitting, and below the stand I'm giving some visual interest by using some pink color, and below the rug I don't want any focus there, so I'm using the dark minty color and blending everything very smooth. This paper stump blending is very much easier because since we are doing coloring books, we always used to that color pencil strokes. So the same kind of work only. It's like applying a thick coat of waxy material below, and the paper stump will be very smooth to blend. Now to give some interest, I'm using my Uniposca pen and creating some dots here and there in random sizes to give that snowfall effect. This immediately changes the scene here. Now everything is so Christmassy, right? Especially in the Christmas illustration, this Uniposca pen will be your savior. So always get few Uniposca pen if you are doing a Christmas illustration or Christmas coloring. I am randomly tabbing here and there in the blue areas only. I have not used that much on the main stand because it won't be much visible. So on top of the page I'm using a lot of dots, and towards the bottom I'm minimizing that snow dots. Now I'm using my Rangila glitter and dotting out this glitter here and there to give some visual interest. I'm gonna create some texture using the blending stump only. I'm gonna swirl that glitter dot, and it creates some interest with some texture. And that's all for this illustration. It's already turned into a magical one. To clean this blending stump, use your hands or else take one sandpaper kind of material. You can find one supply like this in our art supply store. You can get this and rub on top of it and clean out that excess paint that is sticking on your blending stump. This way you can clean your color out of that stump. As you can see, somewhat it's gone. Test it out on the blank white page whether it transfers any color or not. That's all. We have completely done our beautiful pastry stand, and it looks so lovely. That's all for this video. See you soon in my next video. I hope you like this coloring and all of my contents. Happy coloring. Bye bye.